Hello everyone and welcome to our show AUC Observer. Today we have a special guest in our studio, Asma Nagar, the president of Animal Rights Association, who will be talking about the initiative taken by the club in raising awareness against animal abuse in Egypt. But before that, let's watch some interesting stories done by AUC graduate students. The Animal Rights Association is a community service club that aims to make a difference in the community by increasing public awareness of animal welfare in Egypt. Let's watch one of their latest projects on campus. The Animal Rights Association is a community service club that was founded in AUC in 2017. It aims to make a difference in the community by increasing public awareness of animal welfare in Egypt and reducing animals' cruelty. This is done through many projects that include Cats on Campus awareness campaigns and supporting animal shelters.
So basically, we have two things. We have an entire subsections of the ARA called the Animal on Campus project, or the the Cats on Campus initiative, so to speak. What we do is that it's folded into two things. We, with the help of the university, vaccinate them and sterilize them so that we prevent them from having children, and we also feed them daily dry cat food at night.
ARA is now accepting food donations only to help the cats on AUC campus, and they have a number of volunteers who feed the cats at the end of each day. And because students tend to feed the cats junk food, they use their social media to spread awareness about the common food that cats should never eat.
We mostly feed cats. We try to show and spread awareness on animal rights. And yes, and not only the cats on campus, but off campus as well. We usually feed them dry cat food at the end of the day, where there are no people walking on campus.
For the volunteering, I come mostly at midnight to feed the cats because there's no one around.
Anyone from outside that wishes to contact us, they can do it via our social media accounts, our Facebook and our Instagram. They can directly message us and we'll arrange to take the food from them. If they're on campus, they can contact me or any member of the ARA, more specifically me, and we take any form of dry cat food that can help in feeding them a little bit, and any amount helps. Even a smallest amount of 1 kilogram helps feeding even just one location, like bus.
In order to keep both the AUC community and cats on campus safe, the ARA vaccinate and neuter the cats against rabies, as it's one of the biggest diseases that could be transmitted to humans, and at the same time it helps the country reach its goal of rabies-free Egypt by 2030.
We work with a vet, the Animal Care Center. They're in contract with the administration, and they come every 2 to 3 weeks, where we capture around 10 cats, and then we take them there. They are sterilized and vaccinated, and then they're brought back after the recovery period of around 2 to 3 weeks.
There are around 200 cats on campus. 50 of them are vaccinated. You can tell by looking at the cat's ears. If the ear is clipped, it means that they are both neutered and vaccinated. After interviewing some students to know their opinions regarding having cats on campus, it seems that there are mostly animal lovers who enjoy having cats around.
Totally with having animals on campus, because they have a big role, they're like a family to AUCians.
Well, I love both cats and dogs, to be honest. I have them both.
They're part of our society, and we need to provide them with as much help as possible.
Because cats are widespread across all areas on campus, especially around food courts, the Animal Rights Association is currently working on keeping them only in certain areas, and that is done by feeding them in designated places on campus. This is Lara Magdi for AUCTV. campus that many AUCs don't know about. However, it plays a vital role in renewing plants at the university. Dalia Al-Aqed will introduce us to this place in the upcoming report.
Many AUCians don't know much about it. However, it's an area that keeps the landscape of AUC evergreen. It's a plant nursery. It's located near Gate 2 and run by the Landscape Department. The nursery existed when the new campus was first established to support and renew the university's plants, trees, palms, and flowers.
المشتل عبارة عن 3 حاجات، نباتات اندور زي الصوبة اللي احنا واقفين فيها دي، ونباتات اوت دور واشجار ونخيل. الدور المشتل ان هو بيسبورت الموقع، ان في حاجة وقعت او تعبت او مرضت بنبتدي نغيرها بالنباتات بتاعة المشتل، سواء في الاندور في المكاتب او بره في الاوبن دور. احنا هنا في صوبة مكيفة، يعني في الصيف بتبقى بتبرد وفي الشتاء بتدفي المكان. التبريد زي ما احنا شايفين كده، المراوح بتشتغل ورا وفي الواح بيتعدي عليها ميه بتبرد المكان. في الشتاء في دفايه فوق على طول الصوبه، في الانبوبه دي بتبتدي تضخ فيها هواء سخن بيدفي الصوبه، فبنحافظ على درجه حراره النبات على قد ما نقدر عشان ما يحصلش ضربات. الصوبة دي شايلة 4200 نبات. العدد ده موفر كتير للجامعة، لأن النبات الواحد متوسط سعره بيتخطى ال 300-400 جنيه.
In terms of outdoor plants, the nursery also provides new plants on campus.
احنا عندنا هنا في نباتات حولية تتغير كل سنة، يعني في نباتات شتوية ونباتات صيفية.
The nursery plant has faced many challenges. Some of them were under control, but the others were difficult to deal with, especially during the coronavirus outbreak.
أهم تحديات بتقابلنا تقلبات الجو، لأن تغيير الجو للنبات، النبات بيتأقلم على حاجة معينة. أول ما الجو بيتغير بيبتدي يتعب ويحصل له ضربات. بسبب الكورونا وتم إغلاق الحرم الجامعي، فاحنا واجهنا الصعوبة في ان احنا نوصل للنباتات في المكاتب اللي احنا مسؤولين عنها عشان نصينها ونديها التسميد والري المناسب ليها. بس الامن وقف معانا برضو وحاول بقدر المستطاع ان هو يفتح لنا اماكن نقدر نرويها، بس في اماكن تانية كان صعب.
The nursery engineers and workers have long experiences in planting, which enable them to grow about 60,000 plants.
في ساتك اللي بيعبي جساري، وفي اللي يوريهم كيف يعجلوا ويشتغلوا هنا يطلعوا 100-100. يعني في ناس لما تيجي تتعلم هنا تشتغل بره بطريقتنا احنا وتنجح 100-100. يعني انا اعتبر هنا احنا برضه بنعلم الناس اللي بره.
In the nursery area, workers are applying 2 methods of propagation to renew the university landscape.
لما نيجي نكتر ساتك النباتات، في ساتك نظام العجله وفي بالبذور، ساتك زي كده، وبعد عجله 2-3، الثالثه دي ساتك بيبقى لها سهم. ليه ساتك؟ عشان خاطر اللي بيغرس ما يتوش مثلا عندي لازم المستقيمه تكون تحت والسهم يكون فوق. في الاغلبيه البذور ده بيبقى في حاجات موسميه، يعني ممكن يعني بيكمل مثلا 6 اشهر وبيتغير. انا بحط لا مؤاخذه بعمل حته صغيره كده وبغذيها بمؤاخذه بالبطمس والسوبر والكبريت عشان بتطهر الارضيه عشان تطلع الزرعه كويسه. ببدرها وبعدين تطلع لا مؤاخذه على ارتفاع كده، وبعدين بشيلها انا بالطينه بتاعتها واحطها في الجسريه.
The nursery is more than a beautiful space. It's like a kitchen that supports AUC landscape with different kinds of plants and flowers. Thanks to its workers, it plays a vital role in increasing the yield and quality of the AUC's gardens. Dalia Al-Aqed, AUCTV.
Wake Up Coffee offers the kick you need to get your day started. But the best coffees for waking up are more just about a jolt of caffeine. More in the upcoming report by Passant Akram.
I hate coffee.
انا بشرب ريد بول عشان خاطر بالنسبه لي طعم القهوه وحش والريد بول بتفوقني.
بشرب قهوه تركي ولازم تبقى سرياوسي اللي هي فوق الزياده اللي هي سكر بس.
انا بحب اشرب كول بو او قهوه تركي او اسبريسو لان انا بحب طعم القهوه قوي. كول بو ده اللي هو بيبقى يعني بتبقى الروستد كوفي بتبقى برود بالراحه في الثلاجه.
لو جايه قبل المحاضره بدري بروح ستاربكس في بوينت بشرب موكا فرابي. ممكن لو جيت متاخر شويه بروح TBS سبانيش لاتيه.
الصراحه ساعات ما بشربش، بس لما بشرب يعني بحب اجيب ميكس فانيليا او ميكس فراوله من اسيو ماركت.
هي أنا بعتبرها طريقة للتعارف بغض النظر إن أنا بعمل الأوردر، إن أنا كمان أقدر أتعرف اللي بيحبه الطالب أو الموظف، عشان بعد كده لما بيحب المكان ويتعرف على المكان يقدر يجي تاني. أنا عارف أوردرات الغالبية هنا، فبجهزها له وبطلعها له بالشكل اللي هو عايزه، عشان بعد كده هو يتعرف على المكان ويحب المكان.
الصبح بشرب اسبريسو، عادة عندي اسبريسو ماشين، ولما باجي الجامعة على حسب لو قبل التمرين بجيب قهوة تركي من سيلانترو، لو بشرب عادي في نص اليوم بتبقى كارمل فابتشينو من سيلانترو برضو، بس هو غالبا سيلانترو بس يعني. هو مش فريش قوي من السيرفر، بس لما مثلا بابايا لما بيكون موجود من السفر بيعمل لي قهوة بحس ان طعمها احسن يعني.
بيبقى البداية حلوة ان هو you're with the same person وبتكلميه say good morning و they know your order كمان، دي بتبقى حاجة حلوة.
في ناس كتير يعني اعظمهم، فبيبقى داخل عليه فبقى انا عارف الاوردر بتاعه كذا، مثلا قهوه مظبوط، شاي، قهوه موز، قهوه مانجا، كله انا عارفه. هو بيبقى داخل عليه خلاص انا حفظته وعارف اوردره ايه. كل حاجه هنا يعني بيقول لي تسلم ايدك عليه.
After a year and a half of online learning, clubs at AUC are going back to work with new rules. More in the following report by Dua Farid.
After 2 years of online learning, AUC student clubs are back to work with new rules. Volunteers in Action is one of them that was founded in 1996 to help orphans and people in need. And now they are exerting efforts toward adapting to the pandemic.
We have 5 main academic committees. They are working in different projects. For example, we have a children committee. They are working with orphanage. Also, we have micro projects committee, which they are working in implementing projects for Meet Uqba women and Kafra Hakim.
Starting from this semester, we have been sending them the materials at the orphans. Our main goal يعني is delivering the content but still ensuring يعني the health and everyone's safety يعني. We go and give them the books, the material they need. We give them small gifts for the illiterate women يعني. We give them the book and make them with them a weekly Zoom meeting.
مشروع خير is another club that was founded in 2014 with the aim of promoting community development and civic engagement in Egypt. Currently, they are working on many projects keeping in mind the new guidelines.
We're planning for tomorrow's stunt. It's under the project School Up. School Up is basically where we have a campaign that we collect old school supplies and anything that we have before, for example, notebooks, pencils, books, old books. We donate them and we give them to a refugee school.
We try to make sure that we're always following social distance regulations, always wearing masks, we're always spraying alcohol, always making sure everything is clean. So we're trying to limit the spread of COVID, but I think it's a very big challenge. Also on campus, because it's really crowded when we do our stunts or when we try to do a campaign or so, we try to make sure that everything is very socially distanced in order to, we're trying to promote khair, so we're trying not to make people sick at the same time.
Student clubs play a major role in developing students' personalities, as well as getting them involved in different areas of community service. And working with the new rules will give them an additional experience. دعاء فريد AUCTV.
The flowers in the AUC garden is more than a resource for AUCians to relax and to appreciate nature and beauty. More details in the upcoming report by Nada Sheikh.
The AUC garden is a well-created place starting from the clusters of shrubbery to the types of plants selected to grow in the desert environment and can fit in different spots on campus.
الأصناف النباتية عامة هنا 180 صنف ما بين شجر لشرابس يعني شرابس اللي هو العشبيات لحد الجراوند كفر اللي هي الزرع الصغير. احنا بنختار اشكال الزهور او الوان الزهور تمام على حسب برضو المكان اللي احنا او الغرض اللي احنا محتاجين فيه الزهور دي. يعني مثلا احنا لازم يكون مثلا ازهار مبهجه ومستديمه طول السنه في الانترانسز، النوافير الميه او الناس الاماكن اللي بتقعد فيها الناس زي الكافيتريات او الكلام ده كله، برضو الاماكن دي بنختار لها اشكال مزهره.
The main 20-acre garden that extends from Gate 1 by the University Center for the Arts to the edges of the AUC Athletic Center was designed by Meher Stino, the leading landscape designer of the world-famous Al-Azhar Park.
عامة الجامعة هنا احنا ماشيين على الجامعة خريطة، يعني الخريف خريف والصيف صيف والشتاء شتاء، ده كزهور. يعني حضرتك انت بتمر كده في الجامعة، يعني انت كده ماشي من شكل الشجر الشجرات او الشرابسة والزراعة، انت ماشي كده في جو خريفي. يعني خريف اللي هو الورق كله بيقع من على الشجر تمام، وتساقط الورق وحاجات ديت. في الزهور برضو في الربيع بتلاقي الدنيا كلها مزهره، انت بتشم ريحه الربيع وانت ماشي من الشكل اللي حواليك، من شكل الطبيعه نفسها بتتكلم.
You can go for an aroma or scent walk. This walk teaches the audience about the scents getting out of the garden, as the alluring odors of jasmine and rose. The tour helps participants understand how carefully the garden was planned by its designers, taking wind patterns and the seasons into account to create a pleasant blend of aromas. By the end of a hectic day at university, come here to the gardens, relax, take a deep breath, listen to the birds chirping, and get your eyes full with the beautiful scenery of flowers. Nada Shaker, AUCTV.
Animals' basic rights are often neglected in Egypt and not taken into consideration. This is due to the fact that the majority of people are not well educated about the issue. On Friday, September 17th, there was an incident with dogs entering AUC New Cairo campus where one of the dogs attacked a cat. After talking to the security department, it was confirmed that the cat was indeed attacked by the dog, but it was not eaten. The body was buried and the dogs were taken out of campus without being harmed in any way. Today we have a special guest in our studio. Please welcome with me Asma El Naggar, the president of Animal Rights Association. We are glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Esme. With regards to that incident that happened on Friday, what are the measurements that have been taken?
Well, several measurements have been taken so that these incidents do become a rarity and hopefully they don't happen at all. The fences that surround the New Cairo campus have been mended to prevent dogs from entering. Furthermore, security has been heightened at all entry points to campus to be aware of dogs circling the campus, and they have been informed that should any dogs enter or they even see a dog, that they simply escort them off campus without harming them in any way, and that's all. These are only some of the measurements that have been taken. More are in process. But to prevent them from entering, like I said, it's just the fences have been mended, and all entry points have been altered a little bit to prevent dogs from entering and getting in as far as they did that night.
Okay, so do you think there are many dogs are there on campus, or only cats?
There are only cats that live on campus. There are only cats call the AUC New Cairo campus their home. We of course live in a desert, and so there are stray dogs and stray cats living around AUC's New Cairo campus. However, in campus specifically, it's only cats that have called this campus home.
Okay, so now the Animal Rights Association is accepting food donations from students on campus. Can you tell me more about the process?
Okay, so this is part of our Cats on Campus initiative. So part of us advocating for the rights of animals is of course starting at home. So we are asking people to donate food for the cats that live on campus so that they are able to be fed daily. And that's part of one of our initiatives. So for the entire Cats on Campus initiative, we feed them, we take care of them should they get really sick or they're really heavily injured. We also sterilize them and we vaccinate them against all diseases, especially rabies, as that is a big concern of the AUC population, that cats have rabies, and we vaccinate them against that. We deworm them as well, and we make it so that the cats are safe on campus, and that they're also safe for the humans that they interact with.
Okay, so how long does the vaccination process take?
It takes around a month. So what happens is that we have the Animal Care Center, which is a vet in Maadi. They come twice a month, and they humanely catch a couple of cats, around 10 cats, and then they are taken there where they are sterilized and they are vaccinated against everything I said, and they are vaccinated. Then they are brought back after 2 to 3 weeks of recovery, so they are fully recovered, and then they come back to campus where they are relocated in areas that are away from people and away from food outlets, so that we maintain the basic hygiene of the food outlets.
And like, where are these places on campus?
So far we are attempting to relocate them into the gardens more specifically, but we are also attempting to relocate them in areas where there are no food outlets. So the gardens is one place. Also there's Mu'taz al-Alfi, Basili. These areas do not have food near them, so SIBO isn't near them, no food outlet is near them, and so this allows us to do two things. We maintain the hygiene of the food preparation areas, and we give the cats a safe place to be where they can roam around free, and we have easy access to them to provide them with food, and for anyone who wants to play with them, touch them, just look at them, they're there.
Okay, that's great. How do you raise awareness about animal welfare in Egypt?
Mainly through social media. Social media has been our biggest ally in all of this. We also attempt to raise awareness through word of mouth, through Facebook, Instagram. We have our own pages on both platforms. and we use that heavily more than anything else because we feel that's the best way to get our message out, especially in an environment where animal welfare isn't talked about as much in Egypt in general. And so Instagram and Facebook are our biggest allies in raising awareness, not only for the projects that we do, but also in general.
Okay, so about the projects that you do regarding donations, food donations, do you have volunteers who feed the cats regularly on campus?
Yes, so for this initiative, the feeding is, we feed them every day between 6 and 11 p.m. because that's when the campus is usually free. And so the cats are able to come out, especially the skittish cats. They are able to come out and they're able to be fed. I have a group of incredible volunteers who are very dedicated, and without them, this initiative wouldn't be able to stay alive as it is. And we feed them daily, of course, and they're fed all over campus. We have isolated the areas where they are more prominent, and that is where we ask our volunteers to go and feed them. And they're fed daily dry cat food. It's nutritious to them. It provides them with all of the nutrition that they need, and it helps them stay full until the next day where they're fed again, when they're fed again.
That's great. About the donations, what are the process of donating? How can people reach you to donate for the animals?
If you're an AUC student, you can contact, or basically not just an AUC student, anyone who wishes to donate can message us via our Instagram or our Facebook pages asking to donate, and then one of us will arrange for a pickup point to get the food from you, and that food is used to feed the cats for however long it lasts.
Okay, that's great. Asma, I would like you to tell me more about how do you help to end the cruelty against the animal in Egypt, especially that, you know, so many people like poison the animals, some people kill them, and actually no one cares. Like, there are very little awareness about this issue in Egypt.
Like I said, social media is our biggest ally in raising awareness, not just for animal cruelty, but what's happening. It's our way of contacting everyone that cares and follows us and wants to invest and know more about what's happening with animals in Egypt. One thing is that the laws surrounding animal welfare in Egypt is very, very ambiguous, and they're not clear and they're not well known. And so that doesn't really help the situation. And anything that the ARA can do, we try. People contact us, and people have contacted us about situations where animals have been severely abused and they don't know what to do. We give them a list of shelters that they can take the animal to. And we do try to help as much as we can. But
so you don't only operate inside AUC?
No, we
but
try to operate as far as we can, so locally as well, and we're easily accessible through all our social media channels because, like I said, that's our main contact with the world outside. Anyone who sees an animal being abused or just being treated so horribly, we try to help them as much as we can.
How do you help them? Like if someone, for example, calls you and tells you, I see a dog poisoned in the street or have been killed by a car or anything, how do you help ending this abuse?
Well, okay, so we're talking about two things. If a dog, like God forbid, is hit by a car, there's not much we can do, but we can tell them that the dog should be buried in a place that's full of soil and sand, just so that it's buried in the correct way. If someone contacts us with animal abuse, we have a list of shelters that they can contact and take the dog or cat to. We try to advise them. We had someone once contact me with regards to a dog that was chained and extremely malnourished. We attempted to talk to the individual, and we were able to take the dog away from them and get them into a safe shelter. But that's all our initiatives right now focus about raising awareness and trying to help and spread information about what to do in these instances, because it's only so much we can do, and things go back to the people as well. Like, they have a responsibility to protect these animals just as much as we do.
Okay, so do you have like an estimation of how many cats we have on campus?
For as an estimation, I'd say we'd have around 150 cats, possibly even more, that currently reside on campus.
Okay, and after vaccination, how do you tell if a cat is vaccinated or not?
So what we do is that we clip one of their ears. So once they're vaccinated and sterilized, we clip while under anesthesia. They don't feel anything. We clip one of their ears, and that's how we can tell that they're neutered and vaccinated, because both these things are done to them while they're at the vet, because it just makes it easier. We don't want to traumatize the cats by catching them more times than required, because they hate the cage. They've lived on campus their entire life. They're used to an open environment. They're used to roaming around open air, and so having them confined to a cage, it's very traumatizing to them. And so even though it's necessary, we try to do it as little as possible. And so a cat who has a clipped ear is sterilized and vaccinated.
And it's very safe to like interact and
it's very safe. A majority of the cats are very friendly, and they're very cute and friendly and kind, and they want to be held. They're safe. They don't hurt, and if they're skittish, they just run away from you. You just don't chase them and don't hurt them, and they're perfectly safe things. They're perfectly safe animals to be around, and they're very, very good companions. Like
do you have pets?
I live on campus, so not really, but I consider the cats here my pets, if you'd like, because I advocate a lot for animal therapy, and I see these cats as a great source for anyone who just wants to de-stress and just wants to like forget about their own troubles just for even 5 minutes. And like animals in general are very good companions in that way.
Yes. I know that like pets are usually like they decrease our stress and they're very good companions. But I've seen a lot of comments on Rate AC professors, for example, of people complaining about having many cats on campus. Some of them have a phobia against cats, and some of them just don't prefer the idea of having animals on campus. What's your opinion regarding this?
I'd say that that is totally understandable. People have phobias against cats, they have phobias against dogs, they're allergic to them. That's totally understandable. But what I would say is that just like we call AUC home, this is also their home. They have been here even before the New Cairo campus was even created, and this is the home. This is the only home they know. In order to decrease or to control their population, we do, that's the sterilization that we do. We try to control their population so that it is manageable, so that the people that have phobias or are allergic to cats feel more comfortable on campus. But at the same time, cats are more afraid of people than people are of them. Like, for example, throughout the entire day, that's why we feed between 6 and 11 p.m. Campus is nearly dead during those times, and that's where most of the cats come out. During the day when people are rushing to classes and just living life on campus, you would rarely see cats, because they'd all be hiding away, because they don't want to be seen by people. They prefer to be alone, and so they simply hide. They're not as present during the day as they are at night. And at the same time, I'd say, just like it's our home, it's their home as well. They've been here longer than we have, and this is the only place they've ever known.
So, like, what's your solutions regarding this? Do we, for example, keep the cats away from like the plaza and put them, for example, in the dorms area or near Saudi? Like,
that's our effort of relocation. When we sterilize, so our solution is 3 things: we sterilize, vaccinate, and relocate. We sterilize the cats to help control their population so that it doesn't grow anymore, since cats reproduce a lot and reproduce many. We vaccinate them so that we prevent them from being causes of any harm to humans. We specifically vaccinate them as well against rabies. I just want to point that out because one of the biggest concerns of the AUC community is that cats have rabies, and we vaccinate them against that. That's the first thing they're vaccinated against. And we relocate. So once the cats are brought back from the vet, we relocate them to areas where they're safe and they're free, but at the same time away from main gatherings of people. So for example, if there are cats at the plaza and we catch them, we could relocate them to the gardens, or we'll relocate them to areas where there are less collections of people, so that they're safe and the AUC community feels safe as well.
Okay, that's great. And like, where are they currently located?
Currently, they're relocated all over campus. We have at the sports complex, we have in the dorms, we have at bus gate as well. We have at gate 2, which is behind the library, gate 4 and Pepsi gate as well. That's just to name a few.
So basically everywhere. Yes. And what like, do you think if you relocate them, for example, in the gardens, they wouldn't move to the plaza?
Cats move. They're very territorial, and so they do move. They come where sources of food are more present. So even if we were to relocate them to the gardens, if they smell food or they see food, they'd move back. Yes. But that's our effort of feeding them every day. We feed them in locations that they know and become. They understand, okay, so if I stay here, I get more food. Instead of, if I go to plaza where where I can't be fed, khalas, then I can't be fed. It's not that this place doesn't have a sustainable source of food, this place does. And that's why we try to relocate all our feeding stations to there.
Yeah, where do you feed them every day?
Every day we feed them on all the locations I gave you, because including the gardens and including where we try to relocate them. But so far, due to the fact that how slow and time consuming the vaccination sterilization process is, the relocation comes after. So we will relocate 10 cats every month or so, or twice a month into the gardens. And the more cats we have there, masalan, the more food we allocate to that area as well. But like I said, cats are able to move back, but the way to mitigate that is just that we try to convince them, so to speak, that where we put you now is a place of constant food.
It's a very smart way of teaching them where to be and where to stay.
Yes, and it helps keep, we understand the concerns of the AUC community, of course, but at the same time, just like there are human rights, there are animal rights, and these cats cannot survive out of campus. They're used to being here. And so it's a responsibility to just help them and just take care of their basic needs of food, shelter, and water.
Yes. What's your mission? Like?
Our mission is to raise awareness about about the rights of animals in Egypt, globally and not globally, sorry, throughout our local AUC community and nationwide. We focus more at AUC because we feel our voices are louder here, but we are trying to increase our voice, so to speak, throughout the nation as well, so that more people are aware of us and are aware of the numerous other shelters, for example, that try to help and protect the animals that live on the street.
Okay. Lastly, what are your predictions towards the future of animal rights in Egypt?
I'm very optimistic. Part of Egypt's 2030 vision, which I'm sure everyone knows about, is to have Egypt be rabies free. And AUC contributes to that as well by vaccinating the cats on campus against rabies. Egypt, for example, produces the vaccine for rabies that is very cheap, and that's the one we use as well. And what I predict that, like, hopefully as more people become aware that animals are being abused, and social media raising awareness as well, I hope that the laws about animal welfare and animal abuse in Egypt become more solidified and less ambiguous and more well known in Egypt, so that harsher punishments are given than simple fines against cruelty, because it's like you're hurting a soul in the end. And so I hope that people understand that, and these are reflected in the laws. And
Is there any firm laws in Egypt that puts fines against animal abuse?
None that are really well known. Like I said, laws in Egypt are very, very ambiguous. Egypt, as far as I understand, you have the right to put down an animal if you see it as danger to the public welfare. However, that's where the ambiguity comes from. What an animal that's dangerous to someone may not be perceived as dangerous to someone else. So the firmer the laws are, the better and more protected these animals will become. And hopefully we'll be able to get there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Asma Nagar, the President of Animal Rights Association, for being with us today, and see you next week.
Thank you so much.